Yeah, start there.
All right, so being a vegetarian for 28 years, this was really exceptional. This was not like anything I'd ever had before.
I had to search San Antonio for about 8.5 hours to find and forage the things that we're going to be eating this evening. I was over at the Botanical Gardens, I was over at the Asia Market, I was over at Tim's Market, I was over at the Alibaba Market, I was in my backyard, I was at Grandma's house, I was everywhere really trying to find some interesting things that we can use tonight so we can really focus on the vegetable itself. I don't have tofu, I'm not doing meat supplements or things like that. Everything tonight is celebrating the vegetable.
We're about to experience a vegetarian supper club prepared by Chef Ed, especially for the Southtown Supper Club. My husband Brian and I started the Southtown Supper Club in 2012 in Lavaca, and we started bringing in a chef into our kitchen to prepare a meal for about 10 people.
They're appley, cucumbery, perry, they've got all kinds of little tones going on with them. And we're gonna dress them with what I found was a sweet lemon. I can't talk enough about this sweet lemon. It's literally a sweet lemon. It doesn't have sweet tones. No, it's a sweet lemon. It's lemonade. It's too sweet lemonade. It's fantastic. I fell in love with it right away. So I made the vinaigrette with that and a little bit of tarragon, and then we're putting a little bit of supreme right on the top of the salad itself. So let's get ready for the first course, and hopefully I'll enjoy everything. In front of you, what you have is a trumpet mushroom cap cooked down with Japanese cauliflower. So the cauliflower is much more intense, and a little bit of roasted garlic. We cooked all that down, rendered it down with a little bit of sweet onions, created a puree out of that, stuck it inside of a puff pastry vol au vent, set some really nice poached eggs right over the top of it, and what we did is we created just some roasted kale chips from the kale that we harvested from the Botanical Gardens. So it's got a little bit of white truffle on the inside, so you'll definitely get a little truffle essence on the end, a little umami, a little texture, and then that fantastic egg yolk.
Yep, excellent.
Right here.
Enjoy, guys.
Do you have any salt and pepper?
I'm totally kidding. All right, so in front of you, you have the spinach fettuccine. The spinach that we used came from the Botanical Gardens. It was foraged. We went out, we saw it. I was like, can I have that? Dave was like, sure, go ahead. So I picked it. On top, I'm doing heirloom tomatoes. Now, I didn't want to ruin the heirloom tomato at all. I wanted that to hold its freshness, hold its richness, hold its nice sweetness to it. So all I did was dress it in a little bit of olive oil after I cut them up, hit them with a little bit of fresh salt, fresh black pepper. That's it. No, they got some fresh torn oregano on the top of them. Then right on top of that, you have the chard leek. Chard leek, one of my favorite things. It adds a whole bunch of background flavors. I started off charring them in a pan, then I threw them in the oven, and I let them go for the last 35 minutes.
The small bits on top?
The small bits on top is shiitake bacon. Now that one, that's been my mind play for years. I've had executive chefs tell me, hey, you're rolling these in bacon fat, I can't use them. And I'm like, no, that's strictly shiitake. Now shiitake is a fibrous mushroom already, which is why you can't use the cap. So you take that, I'm sorry, you can't use the stem.
Right.
Right, so you take the cap and you slice that cap super, 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 super thin. And I'm documenting this and I don't tell anybody how I do it. Hey, let's do a vegetarian wine dinner. And they're like, no, 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 no. And I've been the executive chef of places talking to the owners. Hey, I want to do a vegetarian wine dinner. No, 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 no. So as soon as you invited me to do this, I jumped on it.
You didn't miss a beat. When we had that
That's next course.
filet mignon, and I said, oh my god.
We were all enjoying ourselves.
We were all enjoying ourselves, and when you blew our mind with that dish, I'm like, you need to do our vegetarian dish, and you were like, yes!
Yes, I wanted it. I was finally invited. It was finally brought up. Someone said, hey, I want to do this, and I was all about it. And I just want to tell you guys one more time, thank you so very much for participating and giving me the opportunity to do this for you guys. Thank you so very much. roasted beets, baby roasted carrots, fresh blood orange, feta cheese. I mean, it's just love on top of love on top of love. And then we dressed it all with a little bit of sweet lemon and tarragon vinaigrette. This one's gonna be our family style dish. So while they're doing this, we're gonna get ready for our 5th and then the final course. So what we've got is basically a hard braised, you know what, no, it's not braised at all. It's a hard roasted eggplant, almost baba ganoush. Savory herbs, thyme, oregano, garlic, onions. God knows what else I put in there. Now, when I got started with vegetarian cuisine, it was over at Big on the Banks, working for Bruce Howden.
Yeah.
Bruce Howden would bring you like a cup of beans, a leaf of basil, and a mushroom, and be like, I need something made with this. I have a vegetarian, or I have a vegan. And it was up to you as just a cook to create something for it. So from him and from working with Jeff White was the man who told me it's not what it is.
Jeff White?
Yes,
Jeff
Jeff White.
Kitchen?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, Jeff Wayne White.
Jeff,
Okay.
yes, sir. Jeff Wayne White.
I haven't been to a place yet, but
He was the man who told me it's not what it is, it's what can it become. You know, and then I just look at things differently.
Yeah.
I see things and I'm like, okay, Jeff's over here like it's not what it is, it's what can become, and Bruce is over here telling me make it delicious and make it beautiful. And from those two guys, these are the things that I come up with.
okay.
You will get to the mushroom, don't worry. But underneath the scallop mushroom, which is basically just a trumpet stem, and I took it and I just cut them up in their little cylinders and I sear them off. I treat them just like scallops.
Okay.
Drop a little oil, hit them with some salt and pepper, rub them with a little bit of garlic, sear them real hard on both sides. Finish them off in the oven so it roasts completely and all the way through. Then the eggplant, like I said, is roasted really, really hard so it breaks down and the sugars pop up and come out. Then we add a little bit of earthiness back into it with the crispy Brussels. And you've got purple and green Brussels there. And then I imported a little more crunch with the toasted pepitas.
Amazing.
Killing me. Really good.
One could be vegetarian if we had you to cook for us everything.
Wow.
So yummy.
So who's missing meat right now?
Not I. I'm not missing it.
Not going to Whataburger. That's amazing.
All right, guys, so for dessert, our last and final course for the evening, what you see before you is going to be a date pound cake made by Kim Suda herself.
Yay.
Over the top of the pound cake, we're dropping the persimmon and loquat butter.
Oh, yes.
Okay, like you've had apple butter before.
Okay.
I modeled this right after that. Persimmon. Persimmon and loquats. So, and then right next to it, you have the green is going to be the coconut and avocado puree. And I've dropped just a little bit of fresh mango and dragon fruit on top of that, and we dollop just a little bit of orange hello whipped cream. So it's super clean, super fresh. So enjoy.
And then Rod made for us.
So
Rod made for us.
gorgeous.
Rod, yes.
Made a dream.
Okay, there we go. We made a
I need to
dream.
go find a fork.
You know, I came in with high expectations and they were exceeded. I mean, really, I was really optimistic about how great this would be, and it's even better than I hoped. It's really wonderful. Thanks, Chef.
Thank
I have to say again, you're just a master of bringing out the flavors from the ingredients without covering them up. And to do that with these ingredients, I mean, and plus you are a master of finding the ingredients.
Thank you.
So I mean, this is an extraordinary experience. It's really, really nice.
To the chef. To the chef.
To the chef.
You're here.
Thank you so very much. I gotta wash dishes now.
All right.
You know, every once in a while we gotta go back to our roots. I can remember 20 years ago at Oak Hills Country Club being a dishwasher. Actually, I can remember 20 years ago being a dishwasher at Grey Moss Inn, long before I met Jeff White. I'm being told when the chef tried to cross-train me as a prep, no, get back to the dishes, where you belong. Lo and behold, a couple years later, it was a perfect circle. I showed back up to Grey Moss Inn, meet my brother Jeff White and become a sous chef. All I needed was someone to have a little faith, and he did. Look what happened. I'm washing dishes again.
And the rest is history.
Sure is.
Look at me. Happy chef?
Happy chef. Very happy.
I would have never thought.